you don't mind me saying that. I see you being our governor one day.
I don't know about that one.
And so, I definitely think so, and something national one day.
Maybe.
Bakari is a legislator from Bamberg, Barnwell, and Orangeburg counties. He currently lives in Denmark. Welcome to our class.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Order for you.
Thank you.
The kids, whatever you want to talk about, and then
Okay.
they have developed some questions.
All right.
Feel free to ask them questions.
All right.
And the floor is yours.
Cool. My name is Bakari. I'm really happy to be here with you all today. I'm 26 years old. This is actually my second class that I like that. This is my second time coming to see Kelly Payne's class, and I thoroughly enjoy it. This is probably my 30th school that I've been to this year since we've been in session. On Mondays and Fridays, I usually like to get out and just go and hang out with some young people and go to different schools. And on Sundays, I'm traveling, going to different churches, but I thoroughly enjoy it. I got elected when I was 21 years old. I was the youngest member of the South Carolina General Assembly. I beat someone who was 82 years old and had been in office longer than I had been born. He had been in office 26 years. We knocked on 2,600 doors, went to over 55 churches, and nobody thought I was going to win. That was the most amazing thing when I came downstairs and told my parents I was going to run for office, because I graduated Morehouse, and I graduated college at 20. And I came downstairs and I remember talking to my parents about running for office, and I told my mom and dad. My mom said she would vote for me, and my dad said he would think about it. So I knew I had a long way to go. But it's been an awesome experience. This is my third term, and I laugh and joke with people all the time because I'm 26 years old and I'm one term away from being able to retire in the South Carolina House of Representatives. But we have challenges every day, and I'm going to let you all ask anything you want to. I don't have any secrets yet, or I haven't been in politics long enough to lie yet, so you're more than welcome to ask me anything personally, politically, it doesn't matter. But it's just, the thing that I want to impart on you most is, as you go out here, just understand the choices and decisions you make. And enjoy yourself and have a great deal of time, but just be very cautious and understanding and calculate every decision that you make. And the reason I say that is because I'm waiting on your help. Seriously. There is a generation that's coming, part of my generation. You all are part of my generation. You have Boyd Brown, and there are 4 people in the House of Representatives that are under 30. When I got elected, it was just me, and I was 21, 22, and then Boyd got elected after me. And now you have Kevin Ryan, who is 23, and Eric Bikus, who's 23. So there are young people who are doing this, and you all can be a part of that same group. And I was talking to, what's the gentleman's name who walked me down here?
Reggie.
Reggie. I was talking to Reggie, and you had these hiccups. I graduated from Orangeburg Wilkinson High School, so I'm very familiar with Dutch fork. I never lost a Dutch fork in anything. Lacrosse, chess, checkers, we beat Dutch fork at everything. But no, I graduated from Orangeburg Wilkinson, and we had this stigma. And I tell people all the time, even at Dutch fork, outside of your family and this school community, there aren't many people who believe that our generation is going to succeed. There are many people that believe we're going to be successes. So I walk around with that chip on my shoulder every day. Every single day. There's a quote that I live by. It's by Benjamin Maine. It says, in all things that you do them so well that no man living, dead, or yet to be born can do them better. In all things that you do them so well that no man living, dead, or yet to be born can do them better. And that's the quote, and that's the chip that I walk around with on my shoulder all the time. I didn't get into Boyd State. I applied for Boyd State in high school. And has anybody gone to Boyd State here? Or Girl State? Does anybody know what that is? You never heard of it? It's like this political, just summer camp, intensive summer camp that they have. And it's a girl state and it's a boy state. And I applied for it when I was in high school. They take high school rising seniors, I believe. And I applied for it when I was in high school, and they didn't let me in. They took kids from all across the state, and they didn't let me in. And I was like, what in the world is going on? And it's those little things that happen. When I was in college, truth be told, I lost my academic scholarship not once, but twice. That's because I was 16 years old in Atlanta, and I lost my mind. But I had to get refocused. Atlanta was just an unbelievable place. And we'll talk about some of those experiences. Because I went to college when I was 16. Yeah, so I had some interesting times. I graduated law school when I was 23. I ran for office during my first year of law school. But these are all things, you look strange and you're like, wow, you did what? But there's nothing different about me then, I mean, there's no difference between you and I. There's absolutely no difference. Denmark, South Carolina. Has anybody ever been to Denmark? We have 3 stoplights and a blinking light. Your high school is probably larger than my city. I grew up, I learned how to jump ditches and play youth football and basketball and baseball in very poor rural South Carolina. And when I graduated from Morehouse College, I had a degree in history. When I graduated, I got accepted into 3 law schools. I got accepted into Emory, I got accepted into Harvard, and I got accepted into the University of South Carolina. And I chose the University of South Carolina. First, Harvard, if anybody ever goes, is extremely cold. And they don't have sweet tea. They don't. And they look at you crazy. They don't. And then no grits either. It's a changing world up there. And I couldn't stand Atlanta anymore because I had way too much fun. But I really wanted to come home. I really wanted to come back home and give something back to the community that gave me so much. And we fight every day. I have a poor rural hospital. My elementary school was in People magazine. October 25th, 2010, the White House called me and said that we're profiling, People magazine is profiling schools that are still underperforming, and the infrastructure is falling apart. So I helped arrange for my librarian to be profiled in it. And the irony in the story is that the day after school let out, and the day that the People magazine photographer was actually showing up, the cafeteria roof collapsed at the elementary school. And this is where the little people go to school. This is like where, K through 4 go to school. And the reason, and nobody heard about it in here. And I've traveled the state, and I haven't heard anybody that's heard about it. And that just tells you that that's something wrong culturally with how we treat our public school system. Because any other state, that is an issue. That makes national news. When it happens in South Carolina, they're like, oh, well, my roof collapsed in my school 2 years ago. But it's that type of culture. It's that culture of what I like to call low expectations. And people have very low expectations for us. And so, you don't get much out of people when you have low expectations. But if you set the bar extremely high, and somebody attains or reaches that level of success, then you've accomplished something. But the reason I tell you where I'm from, and then I'll tell you this one story, and then I'll let you ask any questions you have. And the reason I tell you where I'm from is I just want you all to believe that you can possibly do anything you want to do. And it's more than just like an Army commercial. Okay? That be all you can be. And people say that's rhetoric and all these other things. But I was riding in my car to con law class. I had already been elected. I was the youngest state legislator in the country. I was the youngest black elected official in the country. I probably still am. And I get a private phone call. I'm very cautious about private phone calls because it's usually one of 2 people. Either it's the White House or somebody in D.C. Or it's a student loan collector. Okay? So I'm very cautious about answering these phone calls because you just have to balance it out. Either it's somebody asking why you haven't made your extremely enormous, obscene student loan payment this month, or it's somebody asking you to talk to them. So I'm pulling up this, and I'm always late to class because I'm in session. I'm back in Denmark having meetings. It's hard being a student and a legislator. And I pick up the phone, and they say, Senator Obama's on the phone. And I say, okay, what am I going to do? Not take the call? So I take the call, and we're talking. And it's a lot of irony in this story in that he taught common law at the University of Chicago School of Law. So we're talking about common law, and I'm trying to act like I've been in class a lot and paying attention. So he's like, what do y'all read now? I'm like, let me make something up. So we're bantering back and forth. And then he's like, I really want you to endorse me.